What's up guys, it's Jalen
and Brianna, and in today's video we are celebrating our 5-year anniversary. We've been together officially for 5 years, and we thought it would be fun to just do an updated relationship Q&A sort of thing. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. First question, when are you going to plan a baby?
Well, we already have...
Yeah, right? We're pregnant! I'm just kidding.
We already have 2 babies pretty much.
Yeah, we do.
Look at this. It's
he's a handful for sure.
Yeah. On a real note, I don't know. A couple years. I don't know.
I feel like our mind always changes. We're like, let's have one today. Oh wait, maybe not. Let's have one in 5 years, in 10. This one is a good one. Why has Jalen been absent from your channel?
I don't know.
Well, he sure hasn't been absent from my life. Literally, we still spend 24/7 together. I think that we just enjoy being present and in the moment and not having to vlog or stuff like that. When you're vlogging and doing that kind of stuff, it kind of puts pressure on oh, you're just doing it for the vlog, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, and other than that,
he has a business. He's very busy all the time too.
Well, come on. We can do more videos. Busy. Maybe the problem is we need more video ideas of things to do together.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I have a lot of ideas, but the execution on them is not so well. So hopefully that'll change in 2019. What is we're doing? Okay. How long were you in the new and in love zone of your relationship? And what do you do to keep the fire burning after being together for a long time?
Well.
Okay, to be honest, we've been together 5 years, and I still think we're in that zone.
Yeah.
I think we're always going to be in that zone.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, to me, it's the only reason you would slip out of that is because you don't want to be in that zone anymore.
Yeah, you have to put a conscious effort towards, keeping that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to slip away and you're like, oh, it's just my husband. Oh, it's just my wife.
Yeah, you got to do special stuff together. You got to treat each other like kings and queens. You got to, actually treat your spouse like they're perfect.
This is our crazy one, and then this is our calm one. You can't even tell he's here. He just looks like a pillow. Seriously. Is this Teddy or is this Teddy? Yeah. Well, and I think we're really lucky, too, because we literally do spend 24/7 together. I can't even remember the last time that we were apart, honestly.
Yeah.
And we want that. I wouldn't want to spend 24/7 with anyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
In the world.
Yeah, and plus, we built that on purpose. We decided we wanted to work from home. We figured out how to make money from home, and, and then we're...
Yeah, even before we were in business or we were married, we would talk about stuff like that, what were our priorities in a relationship, and we built from that.
Exactly.
So... what are some of the things you guys do to keep Christ in the center?
Well, number one is we say prayers multiple times a day. Nothing crazy, but we actually pray together and give thanks and pray for people around us and pray for guidance, and that makes a big difference.
Another thing that we've been doing a lot recently is watching a lot of online sermons.
Yeah.
So we'll do maybe 1 to 3 times a week. We'll watch them, maybe even more.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Some weeks we'll do it every single day.
Yeah.
And we try to. Our goal is to do it every single day.
Yeah.
But obviously we all know your goals don't always follow through. So.
Who spends the most money out of you two?
Well, okay, that question.
That's a very easy answer, and it's Jalen.
Well, okay.
No, come on.
You guys
such an easy
spend
answer.
or invest, because remember, I've got a business. We got multiple employees.
Okay,
so
well, everything
some
that
months
I
it's
spend
50,000.
Everything I spend money on is to show on YouTube, so that counts as an investment.
Oh, yeah, well, okay, yeah, I guess.
I spend barely anything compared to cars. Cars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everything, all of our money is shared.
Yeah.
But, he definitely spends.
Yeah. I mean.
By far.
By far, quite a bit.
At least 20 times more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Maybe more.
20 times, let's say if you spend 1,000 or 2,000.
Okay, the thing is, the difference between us is he spends, a bunch of money on one thing. He'll get, a big, nice car or whatever. And I'll spend, little amounts of money on little things
but
makeup.
We gotta make this clear though, because there's gonna be people in the comments you spend so much money. I'm talking marketing expense, employee expense. There's so much to running a business. That's what I'm talking about as well. Yes, I bought a Lamborghini and Porsche and M5 or whatever, but okay, those are my big spenders. But other than that, yes, I spend a lot on business every
Yeah,
single
so it's not even a question. We know who spends more money.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Where are you guys living now? You know us, we're always like moving different places, but we have a place in Wisconsin, and then we also just recently got a place in California.
Yep.
Not in LA, we're living in like Orange County, is that okay to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we love it.
Too cold in Wisconsin right now.
Way too cold. Oh my gosh, once it got down to like 20 degrees, we're like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Like the snow is pretty to like look out the window, and then you go outside and like 20 degrees, the windshield is just like not fun.
Yeah.
We're enjoying the
way
beach.
crazy over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to take this dog to the dog park and get his energy out.
You want to go to the park?
Okay, we can't get him excited yet. What's your favorite date spot in AZ?
Oh my gosh, Kodo Sushi. It is the best restaurant probably in the entire world.
North
that we've been
Scottsdale, go to Kodo Sushi.
It is the best. Kodo. For the post, I posted like a cute picture of us, like a cheesy one, and someone was like, do you ever feel cheesy posting pics like these? Not being rude, it's a real question because I do.
Yeah, I mean...
I think I'm just a cheesy person.
Yeah, I mean, the difference is that we don't care what people think.
I feel like online I'm not as cheesy as I am in person. Like,
that's true.
I will tell you any single day, like an Instagram caption, like a cute one, I will tell him like, you were the most magical, amazing person, like to his face, like all the time. So I'm like, why can't I just write it on Instagram, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, a lot of people, like, they don't want to be cheesy because, like, the cool thing is to be depressing and, like, be like, oh, I'm too cool to say that. But, come on, like, level up. Like, be happy, you know?
I think
Treat
you
your wife
could be a little
husband.
cheesier. Though.
Yeah, I mean...
Jalen's, like, a little too cool. He's so cheesy in person, honestly.
I am cheesy in person. I would say so. Like, I'm not afraid of that, you know?
Yeah, but online he's just like, babe. That's the caption. Or like 2 hearts.
Well,
I'm like writing an essay.
That's because I'm not creative enough. I'm working on my creativity, part of my brain.
What is your guys' love language? I feel like we both have multiple.
Yeah.
And I feel like ours are pretty much the same. Like quality time I think is number 1. Physical touch. What else? Words of affirmation.
Yeah, we're naming pretty much all of them.
Pretty much all of them. I mean, I like a gift.
But guys, main one for us is quality time.
Quality time. That's literally why we spend 24/7 together.
Yeah.
Literally. The rest is good too. I don't even remember what the 5th one is.
I don't either.
That one must not be important to us. Those are our love languages. What are you doing for a living? Are you both still studying? No, we've never studied. Jalen and I, neither of us didn't go to college. Can you tell?
We
I don't know how
barely
to
graduated high school. It's like, we're studying life, baby.
I really don't think that sentence came out right. Can you tell I didn't go to college? We just live life. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I do YouTube as my like full-time job, and then Jalen.
And then I have a rich dad who pays for everything. And no, I'm just kidding. We get enough of those comments, like, no, we don't have rich parents. I'd say we run a real estate investment company, and then I also have a bunch of students who I teach how to flip real estate, so I partner up with them and stuff like that, and yeah, that's what we do for a living. I spend a lot of money on education,
college.
but not college.
On the right education.
Yeah. The business college people are teaching you stuff. They never made more than probably $100,000 in their life a year. And they probably never put most of the things you do that they share to you in action. So I'm out there learning from people making millions of dollars a month who are actually doing big business. Like that's what we spend our money in education on. Going back to when we talked about spending, that's another reason why I'm the spenders, because I'm like a part of a big mastermind that's $35,000 a year, and like I spend a lot of money on education. So
what does love mean for you guys?
For me, I think it means sacrificing your like selfish, fleshy like desires. You know, like to go out there, just be free and do whatever you want. It's about letting go of your individual self to try to create something greater as a team. That's what it is to me. Unconditionally caring for somebody above everything else. Why would you want to be married at a young age? It's time to have fun. Like, no, you let go of all that. And plus, that's not the way to live, in my opinion, as a Christian. To me, love is just caring for somebody unconditionally.
I genuinely wanted to ask you how you come to conclusions if you guys fight or argue about anything. I wouldn't say that we've ever gotten into like a crazy fight or anything, but the thing that we do is like we get kind of like attitude-y, you know, especially during that time of the month, or if either of us are hangry, like it's a real thing. It happens.
It is a real thing.
But I think one thing that both of us do really well is we're very conscious of the fact that everything in the moment seems bigger than it actually is. Sometimes it takes a little while, but we eventually realize like this is the most stupid thing to be arguing about. Like, why do I have this attitude? Like, I should not be acting like this. I know I'm acting dumb. You know, even if you think you're right or you think the other person's wrong or right or whatever the case is, just knowing that everything is just a lot bigger in the moment. When you step back and look at like the actual situation, you're like, what were you guys doing?
Right.
And that's like in life in general too. Like when you're in highs and lows, everything seems bigger in the moment, you know?
No doubt. Yeah, plus as long as one person, like both people in that moment do not have to be conscious enough. One person does. If one person just says, wait, what are we fighting about? And that one person says, I'm going to make sure that this conflict gets resolved right now, even though I think I'm right, even though they might be wrong, I'm going to make sure, and I don't care how negative or mean they are, I'm within the next 30 minutes, I'm going to resolve this. And typically, if you start thinking like that, it solves the issue. So that's what happens between us. So
How do you know each other?
Oh. Well, that's that's probably a legit question. They're like, how did you meet?
I thought they were like joking, like.
Yeah, I know her from the local supermarket, you know.
From high school. We were high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
Why did I read that weird? I'm like, oh yeah, we're
You
just
could take that one of two ways. Like, I was thinking the same thing.
Somebody thought we were twins once.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this dude, I think, wanted to hit on her. He's like, who's...
No, it was a girl. Remember, it was at CVS. We were checking out, and the lady was like, oh my gosh, are you guys twins? And I was like...
I'm talking about a different situation.
What situation?
I don't know, we were like eating dinner at like some, like, maybe like a networking event or something like that, and some guy was just like talking to her, and I'm just like chilling. I'm not really thinking anything of it. And then he's like, oh yeah, somehow it came up like, who's your mom or who's your dad or whatever, and we're like, well, my dad's this, and he's like, what? I thought you were related. I'm like, but it was with the group, so he wasn't like directly hitting on you.
Yeah,
you know? But I could tell the tone changed after I heard that we were married, you know?
Really?
Yes.
I literally do not remember this. What's the strangest thing you found out about each other after living together? Well,
she will only use the black velvet hangers. I'm like, why? No. Well, pretty much, yeah.
No, that's not true.
Well,
that's not true.
I mean, for a good 2 years after we got married, she only wanted those velvet hangers, and I hate those things.
Okay.
Because your shirt gets caught on. That's one of them.
That's not even a good one.
That might not be the best one.
That's not even close to the best.
It's still an example.
No, it's not an example.
Well. See, this is the extent of our arguments.
Jalen eats everything in 5 seconds.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
He literally,
but
I don't even think he chews, honestly.
Yeah.
But wasn't there a question earlier, like, have we changed habits because of the other person?
Yeah.
I started eating faster because of you. Well, because this is what happens. He finishes all his food, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna start eating mine.
And that is true. Like, I will eat your food.
Oh, you know what's something that you do that kind of annoys me?
What?
Well, you've gotten so much better.
This,
what?
When I mix the laundry, probably.
No, you don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
I was talking about the towels. Like, he'll take a wet towel and like have it all crinkled up, and then it'll smell gross. Like, you need to make sure it's all nice and straight. But I'm really proud of you because you.
Look, here's something that most husbands would create a huge fight. Like, I have friends who fight with their girlfriends over putting the toilet seat down for their girlfriend. Like, bro,
he also doesn't do that.
Just fix yourself up, and if it makes her mad enough, just fix it. Like, yeah, I don't think I need to put the towel perfectly lined up, but I do it for her to make her happy. Like, I suck it up and just do it instead of fighting about it and getting angry.
No, you actually do need to put it perfectly, or else it'll smell like mildew.
See, husbands, take advice. You're right, princess. Okay, I'll make sure I make things perfectly.
Nobody asked this, but I always like to ask Jalen this.
Okay.
What? Bear, we're trying to have a romantic moment. What are your 3 favorite things about me?
Well, one of them would be inappropriate to share on YouTube, but I would say your lovingness, like your ability to be kind and nice to everybody you meet. That's something that I really admire and that I try to like bring over to my life because she's actually really kind to everybody. And I try to be really kind because I've been dating her, but sometimes I'm not as good. So that's one of the things that I love. Also your eyes. And then if we're throwing a physical feature, you know.
No, we're not. No, we're doing all
Personality.
Yes.
Okay.
Tell me more.
Well, the other thing is that you try to push me out of my comfort zone, so you're good at like getting me out of funks. You know, you're good at like thinking past the current moment and like seeing things more clearly. The other personality-wise thing I'd say is you're good at being consistent. Like even though you're not always posting consistently on YouTube.
Well, I do. I just
You
make
do.
the videos private.
Yeah, you do. Okay, you do post consistently, you do all that, but you're really consistent in your life. So like you're never really up, you're never really down. And I mean, I'm really not that way either, but that's mostly because of being with you. And you know, I think having the peace of God in you also is a big piece of that. Obviously, if you read the Bible, there's plenty of verses that talk about that. But yeah, you have that definitely in you.
Thank you. Bear, really gotta ruin the moment. My first favorite thing about you, I love that you are so caring. You will literally go out of your way to make me happy, even if it's something like small, like the towel thing, or just like a lot of different things like that. And like you go out of your way to do all of that. And you're just so caring. You always want everybody to be happy and everybody to be living a good life. And
Thank you.
like you strive, like I know the reason, like what drives you is like helping others and helping your family, and that's like the most admirable thing about you. And also you're very hardworking, but you don't stop, you know, like you always want to continue growing and you never want to stay at the same place, and that's really
Well, that's
admirable.
mostly because of you.
And then third, I can't say on camera.
My
I'm just
butt?
kidding. I can say that on camera. I'm talking about something else. Oh, I think we should end this video by saying how the other person has grown the most in the past 5 years.
Yeah. So for Brianna, I would say the main thing is probably her ability to be outgoing. She used to be have a very hard time opening up to friends, to having conversations with strangers, even though she's the most amazing woman, and anybody who meets her in person for the first time is gonna know that because she's so genuine. She doesn't want anything out of you. She doesn't care. She just wants to like create great memories. And so over the past few years, she's really like become to the point where she's learned how to communicate better, how to like actually like have a real like relationship with other people, like friends and stuff and family. And so just getting out of her shell and just opening up to people. I'd say that's the main thing.
Thank you. I love you. I feel like how you've grown the most in the past 5 years is, I feel like your heart. It's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't even know how it fits in your body because you literally have the biggest heart in the world. And you always have, but it has only gotten bigger over the years. Another thing, I just remembered another thing that I really like about you is you just say whatever. Like literally anything that's on his mind, even in our videos, I'm like, I would never say that. Like you just say whatever and you don't care. Like you literally do not care what other people think, and that's amazing. And
Well,
I think
I
you've
don't want
also
to hurt
grown
people's
into
feelings,
that.
too,
No,
but-
of course. But like you just say like your opinion, you know?
Yeah. Shout out to Nick Talata, our buddy. He also does that, even to a higher level than me.
Yeah, so
Thank you, baby.
of course I love you. I really am glad we made this video. I hope you guys enjoyed Bear like being the crazy dog he
He's
is.
nuts, man. This dog is just
We should sing our favorite song.
what?
You're my first love, you're my last. Honey, honey. You're my future, you're my past. And loving you is all I ask. Oh,
my teddy.
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video.